Hey, I came to
Yeah,
visit
then I'm
because
gonna
apparently this
change
could
it.
be my dad. Dad, are you here? Are you my father, Johnny195? Father, it's been so long. Embrace me. Embrace me, father. Good to see you. So what? That is one way to embrace it.
Is that a weekend? Is that the actual weekend toast?
It is not me.
Oh, you better be real, bro. Are you filming? If you are real, will you be filming a video? You sound like him. You sound like him.
I may or may not be doing a Vail video very soon. Yes.
Who does he sound like? Who does he
You're
sound
filming
like?
one right now?
Who does
Like
he sound
right now, dude.
Am I in it?
Make a banger intro right off the rip, dude.
You
Hit it.
little. I'm mad. I'm like so mad right
What
now.
should I do, Toad? Welcome back to another video.
Shut your nasty.
And he's gonna be doing a Vail video.
Hey, what's going on, guys? And today, welcome to my first ever Vail VR video since the official release. I do want to say right off the bat, this video is sponsored by AxeLab, so a huge thank you out to them, but that will not change my opinions on how I feel about this game. Because today I'm going to be talking about the things I like, the things I dislike, and whether or not this game is for you. I'm going to try to keep it short and sweet and just kind of do like a live comm style as the gameplay is rolling in the background. So first things first, I want to say I really enjoyed the progression. I think the progression in the game is really cool. It's very like a COD aesthetic where like you level up throughout a lot of your games and then you can unlock different guns, different classes, and you just slowly get more attachments and all other things within the game. I think that by far is a really cool system. We don't see it enough in VR, and the fact that it's in Vail is really, really cool. On top of that is the matchmaking. This is something that I both like and dislike. The matchmaking is pretty cool because literally you just go and click play and it throws you right in the lobby, and it usually takes like at max like 30 seconds. And like this goes across the board of playing at like, you know, 3 in the morning, or if you're playing at 2 in the afternoon. So like it's pretty dang good for their matchmaking. Only thing that I do hope to see eventually is a filter so you can find the game modes you truly want to play. Because there's definitely times where I want to just go and play a team deathmatch, and then there's other times where I want to play like their artifact mode and just jump around different modes and only play that specifically whenever they want to. But the only way currently that you can really do that is by hosting a custom game and just forcing that game mode to be replayed. If you go into any public lobbies, I mean, you can still vote for it, but at the end of the day, it's the wave of the entire lobby. So depending on what people actually all group up and choose to play, you're stuck with whatever mode that's going to be. And the reason why I would like to see the filter is because I want different ways to earn XP based on these modes. Because right now, you just have to random queue and hope that you get the mode that you want to get in. Which is just a little bit weird to me because I'm super heavy as a respawn player. I really enjoy respawn game modes. So when I get forced to play an artifact game, which is very similar to Search and Destroy, it's just a little bit different when I'm actually trying to grind out my levels and all that jazz. But another thing I do want to go and touch upon is the best mode in the game. And this actually goes to artifacts. I personally think this game, like True and True, is best in their Search and Destroy formula. Like their maps play super well with their artifact mode. All right, gentlemen, we have a bomb right here. Did you just stick a knife in my forehead? It definitely feels like artifact was their main focus. And even back in the betas, that was basically the only mode I was playing. And Artifact is great. I actually really enjoy it. But it feels like the Team Deathmatch, the Hardpoint, and the few other respawn modes that they actually have just don't feel fully there. If they just dial in the respawn system and just get it a little bit more polished and a bit more consistent, I think this has really good potential to have like a really good replayable factor on those modes. But right now, Artifact is definitely carrying. If you guys want to try this game and you want to give it a shot, I definitely recommend the team play of Artifact. It's just a super fun team-based mode, very Search and Destroy-esque like I've said previously. But if you really want to get your gunplay up and just kind of practice like with the weapons and get a feel for it, then obviously Team Deathmatch, Free-for-all, you name it, all those things are there for you to go and basically work on your aim. So now let's talk about the things that I like about Vail VR. Number one would be the gunplay. I feel like the gunplay in this game is pretty solid. Like, for the most part, I haven't had any, like, super janky moments where it's like, dude, this is so unbelievably bad, I can't play this game, like you usually see in a lot of VR shooters. So, huge props to the Vail team for making the guns feel good. I actually really like the reloading mechanics. I think the gun's weight feels pretty good, and even, like, the interaction with walls and all that, it's just very well done. I think their gunplay is pretty solid. Number 2 is the progression. I talked about this previously, and I think it's a really cool feature because not enough VR games take the love and the time to invest into a progression system. And I feel like lacking on that system alone is just such a shot in the foot, man, because having a progression system allows the player to have a purpose to come back and play the game. Because at the end of the day, if you're an arcade shooter or a 6v6 tactical, whatever you do, if you don't have any sense of having someone come back to look forward to something, there's really no reason for them to re-log in. So having a progression system like Vail has is really, really cool. You have a level up system where you unlock different attachments, guns, classes, and just raise your overall character level, which is super cool. Number 3 is going to be scopes. I think the scopes in this game are really, really cool. They have a nice attention to detail with the holographic scopes, funny enough. If you pull the holographic scope like further away, the scope actually gets bigger, just like it would in real life, which I think is a pretty cool attention to detail type of thing. But yeah, so far I want to say the scopes are pretty good. I actually really like them in this game, and that's a very picky subject for me when it comes down to VR shooters, because there's some games that do it well, and there's some games that don't do it very well. And the last and final thing goes unsaid. It's the artifact mode. I mean, by far, this is the best mode. I've already talked about this previously in the video. I think by far it's the most fleshed out and just well-flowing modes that this game has. So those are the things that I really enjoy. Now let's go and jump on the things that I don't like. And you guys can freely disagree or agree if you play the game and you have the same sentiment. I'm not here to say this is the truth and, you know, true to be all. This is just my opinion on how I kind of feel about the game. So for my gameplay, I think one of the things that's definitely lacking is the map design for Respawn. Right now, it feels like a lot of the maps are very well done for Artifact, and I've already talked about that subject, and I think it flows great for that mode. It's made for that. But I feel like for Team Deathmatch and Hardpoint, it just feels like it's lacking that respawnability factor, and you're spawning next to other people, and it's just this crazy chaotic mess every now and then. But once they get those spawns dialed in, I think it'll be pretty good. And I also believe on some of the maps, they've actually shortened the size of the respawn map. So they basically have the exact same map that's an Artifact, but they shortened it, which I think they should just kept it the same. Because truthfully, I think it flowed really well even before shortening the map itself. Like, I think even an Artifact, if you were just to take those maps from that mode and just throw them in Respawn, I think they would work really freaking well. So that's one thing that confused me a little bit, because it's like, I get in Respawn you want to push more like gun engagements and have a lot more fun that way, but the maps themselves already flow really well. So I don't think shortening them was really, I guess, beneficial. That's just the way I look at it. Number 2 is the color scheme of the maps. This is the thing that probably bothers me the most, but it's also because my vision is just very, very bad. So with the color scheme, the characters are white and black, which is your typical, you know, A team and B team, okay? But the only problem is a lot of the maps are also in those tan and black and white and black colors. And it makes the characters blend in with a lot of the environment. So anyone that's like super campy and plays head glitches and stuff, it's almost like impossible to see these guys. And there's going to be people in the comment section saying, but they have a red outline, you can see them that way. Dude, in some ways, yes. But in the complete opposite sense, dude, it just makes it so hard to play the game when you're not able to see the people that you're shooting at. But I mean, they're already so far into the cycle, I highly doubt they would like just go and change this based on my opinion. But again, this is just how I feel. I feel like the maps just, they blend in way too much, man. I just wish we had some more greens. I wish we had some more blues and reds. Just something that's a little bit more appealing to look at and also separates the player from the environment. And now it's time to jump ship, okay? Is this game for you? That's going to be the real question here. So personally, if you're like a CSGO fan and you kind of like just that more tactical vibe to the game, I think you're going to really enjoy Vail, right? I think that would be right down your alley. It feels like it's CSGO inspired. I don't know like what the devs' vision was, but it definitely feels CSGO-esque in VR. Right? I think it's definitely got that vibe and they've owned it. I think that's very, very solid. So if you're a CSGO fan and you really enjoy it, I think you're going to have a fun time with Vail. If you're more leaning towards like super fast-paced jump shotting, drop shotting, and doing like crazy mechanics in the game, You're not really going to get that with Vail. I mean, they have like a snipers versus knives mode, which kind of has like a jumping low gravity mode. Just a lot more playful of a game mode. But as for the actual gunplay in the other modes, you're not really going to get those crazy gunfights of jumping around corners and sliding on people and just having that crazy chaotic type of momentum, if that makes sense. It's definitely got its own like momentum based system in the game, and I definitely feel it. It just, for me, it's a little bit too slow, but I know for other people it's like right on. Like, this is legit the game that they want in VR, and if that's you, like, jump on the ship and ride the wave, man. Like, I'm totally with it. But I just want to put it out there as a sponsored video here. Like, I don't want to say the game's perfect, because obviously it has its flaws. But, I mean, that goes for any VR game out there. No game that is out currently in the VR ecosystem is perfect by any means. You know, like, there's going to be bugs, there's going to be things that make people mad, and there's going to be things that just aren't necessarily the most solid out there. I mean, there's great successes in the VR scene, and there's also great failures. But Vail is definitely one of those titles that's going to be strong in the VR FPS genre. So if this is already on your radar and you want to give it a shot, I definitely recommend going and clicking the link down in the description below and going and checking it out yourselves. At the end of the day, I believe the game is worth it. It just depends on what you're looking for in a VR experience. So with that, I'm going to be closing this video out. Hopefully you guys did end up enjoying this video. If you did, be sure to go and smash that motherfracking thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new, so you guys can stay up to date with all of your content we post. But other than that, guys, as always, keep it toasty, my friends. Laters.
I got some shells for you, boy. Oh, it's in his eye. Oh, I fixed it. I would have died. Well, right here. Armageddon! Yeah! Why in the heck do you not have clothes? You took my banana, and now you must suffer the consequences!